Fact is, we have one law in this country, and it is the Australian law. It's not Sharia law.
In Islam,
not in this country.
Do you know what
not in my day.
What should be the role of Sharia law in Western civilization? Take a look at this intense clip that happened on ABC Australia. It's from a few years ago, but it gets really heated, really intense. So we'll watch it together, and then we'll talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
Anybody that supports Sharia law in this country should be deported.
So do you know what Sharia law is?
Yes, but it doesn't have
do you know
rights.
what it is?
Me praying for Sharia law?
Of course, me praying 5 times a day is Sharia.
Okay.
Right? Like basic...
What about the equal rights for women? What about...
That is completely separate from Islam.
So now you can be a Sharia law supporter and be half pregnant at the same time.
What are you talking about? You are talking about stuff you don't know anything about. Like, okay, I'm not going to attack you personally. But my frustration is that people talk about Islam without knowing anything about it, and they're willing to completely negate any of my rights as a human being, as a woman, as a person with agency, simply because they have an idea about what my faith is about. Excuse me, Islam to me is the most feminist religion, right? We got equal rights well before the Europeans. We don't take our husbands' last names because we ain't their property. Right? We were given the right to own land. We the fact is, what is culture is separate from what is faith. And the fact that people go around dissing my faith without knowing anything about it and want to chuck me out of a country I have done, and Muslims... The fact is, Jackie, I agree.
The fact is, we have one law in this country, and it is the Australian law. It's not Sharia law.
In Islam,
not in this country.
Do you know what
not in my day.
In Sharia, it says you follow the law of the land on which you are on. It says in Islam that you follow the law of the land on which you are on. Don't tell me.
You tell me that.
Jackie,
that is not my religion.
Can I just say that shouting at each other is not going to help?
That is true.
So please stop. I just want to ask you, let me go to... I'm saying that to both of you, if you wouldn't mind. Now, let's just go to... Donald Trump was mentioned, and obviously he's redefining the rules around immigration in the United States, at least temporarily at this stage. You got caught up in that. Are you still caught up in it as a dual Sudanese-Australian citizen?
So I was born in Sudan. I moved to Brisbane when I was a year and a half. And apparently because I was born in Sudan, I might be a terrorist. I was caught up in that because of the fact that I was born in Sudan. Despite the fact that I grew up in this country, I know no other real culture than Australian, really, because Australian is who I am. And I think the fact is that Donald Trump is changing a whole bunch of things. And the fact that we're normalising the kind of discussions and the kind of rhetoric that Donald Trump uses frightens me, right? It deeply makes me scared because, Jackie, you talk about, and I apologise for yelling because that is unbecoming of a lady. You talk about protecting Australians. Well, I am Australian. I have gone around the world talking about how much I love Australia. Just wait, right? And so it hurts me deeply, right, when my elected representatives don't want to have me in this country simply because of my faith or because of where I was born. And I think this kind of rhetoric is what we saw pre-World War II. We saw it in the 30s, the same kind of othering. They are different, they're not like us, they do stuff that we don't accept. I back you 100%. We should look after people that are vulnerable in this country. I will back you to the hilt on that. But that is not mutually exclusive to being generous to those that are coming in.
OK, now, Jackie, let's hear from you.
Okay.
And let me just put this to you. Do you accept that some of the things you say can come across as being quite hateful to others?
To a minority. Well, if that's a minority, but this is for the majority. This is what the majority
one of the...
Oh, girl! Want to feel safe, be safe. And Donald Trump, if he wants to put that and put those on hold for 3 months, he has every right to do so until he can work out exactly what is going on. If that's going to keep America safer, just like it's going to keep Australia. So, you know what? Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. We've had enough. Stop playing the victim.
OK, may I ask you this?
Your ban got lifted, get over it.
Oh, sure.
All right, enough.
I am so fine right now. OK.
Right, well, there you go.
So the thing is, Jackie, is that...
It hasn't hurt you at all.
The thing is, Jackie, is that national security experts around the world have said that these sort of bans are the things that make countries less safe. It's not me saying it, it's actual experts, right?
They're the same national security
okay.
that would drive the people out of the Middle East instead of staying there, making sure they've got safe havens.
There's a big difference between being anti-immigrant and being pro-border. One is ugly, the other one is common sense. And so after watching this exchange, instead of taking sides with anger, let's talk with some clarity. Australia, just like the United States, just like Israel, just like every other sovereign nation, has the right to set the terms of its cultural identity. Not only the right, it needs to. That's not racist, that's not xenophobic, that's just how stable societies function. When Lambie stressed that we need immigrants who share the nation's values, freedom of speech, equality before the law, democracy, that wasn't hatred, that was self-preservation. And when Yasmin argued that Islam can integrate with Western democracy, she was right to say that every person deserves dignity and fairness. So what's the real lesson? It's not about rejecting people, it's about protecting principles. You don't throw away your home culture to prove that you're hospitable. You welcome people, but you expect them to respect the rules of the house. Think about it like this. If your family hosts guests, you don't ask them to become you, but you do expect them to not redesign the furniture and change your house rules and rip up the floorboards. Immigration is a blessing when it strengthens the country, not when it dilutes its foundation. That's why smart immigration policy isn't racist, it's responsible. You select people who want to build with you, not replace what you've built. So at the end of the day, protecting national identity isn't about hatred, it's about loving your country enough to keep it worth coming to. When we do immigration right, we do it thoughtfully, when we do it value-based and principled, it makes us stronger, safer, and more united. And that's the real conversation. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.